Spoiler warning ahead. This video is not for you if you haven't seen season 3, episode 2. What's going on, YouTube? It's Baby Clay Media and Reactions. And boy, oh boy, season 3 is a banger. But before we go any further, make sure y'all hit that like, comment, and subscribe. We ain't even gonna take too long to tell y'all to do that, because I know y'all got us. So let's go. And shouts out to Mrs. Lou. Man, this character was strong. This character was a pillar of the community. And she fulfilled her role all the way. Unfortunately, she had to go. But let me tell you, Mrs. Lou and Boyd's connection was actually deeper than what we thought. And I hate to see how they did her, but the monsters got to her and they cleaned her apart. Oh my God, it was gory. Shouts out to Boyd for being strong, man, but shouts out to Kenny for even being more stronger than what he was in past previous seasons. And I want to say, man, Boyd is on the verge of losing his fucking mind. Like, Boyd is on the verge of losing it. But Boyd is a Marine. I think he'll actually pull through and find the strength that him and the town people need to fight these monsters back. But shouts out to Boyd for his courage. Man, his character development is crazy working. Shouts out to Harold, because Harold is a phenomenal actor. So now we have Boyd, Mrs. 10 in the room, and Boyd is handcuffed until Jade comes in and uncuffs him. And as soon as he gets uncuffed, he runs to Mrs. Lou. Like, he feels as though this is his fault, which we all know is not. Something you can't control that's just out of your hands. So once they're out, they put Mrs. Lou on the cart. They walk through the town, and some people are sobbing, but some people are like side-eyeing Boyd, like, how did you make it out? You know what I'm saying? So it was a very great scene. It was a very gut-wrenching moment, especially for the people that started from watching the show season 1 and build a rapport with Mrs. Lou. Once they actually get her into the church for her body, to be buried, and so they could maybe have a memorial service for her, Jade asked Boyd, "You were in that barn. How are you still alive?" And Boyd tells Jade, "They wanted me to watch. They wanted me to watch." And Jade is probably blowing his mind that these animals are letting people stay alive so they could watch. And Henry, you got to keep moment to that, brother, because you definitely shocked me. I thought you was going to be a quote-unquote ain't shit daddy. But obviously, you do care, daddy. He cares a lot about his kids. He's been missing his kids all of this time. It's been 20 plus years since he's seen his kids. And he's here asking Tabitha, where did you get the lunchbox? And Tabitha is trying to tell him, hey, me and my family, we were on the highway until we got off a side road, and it led us to this town that you can't leave. There's people that was in the town before, but Victor Daddy like, where did you get the lunchbox? Pops ain't trying to hear none of the side stories. He just wants to know, where did you get the lunchbox? And finally, Tabitha has the heart to say, your son gave me the lunchbox. And of course, he doesn't believe her, which we thought would happen. Not only does he not believe her, he calls the cops. And the whole time I'm like, no, send the po-po back. Send them back. And that's what he does. When the police gets there, he tells them, I thought I heard, it must have been a wild animal or something, y'all. I'm sorry. False alarm. Everything that Tabitha is actually telling Henry at this moment is hard for him to grasp, because you have a strange woman show up at your doorstep with your son's lunchbox you gave to him 30 plus years ago. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be so quick to say you're lying or say you're telling the truth. This was basically a let me take it all in moment before I decide what I'm gonna do with your ass. Give me a few minutes there. But it is always a but with me. He comes to the realization she's telling the truth once Tabitha is saying to him, the kids told me to do it. I thought I had to save the kids. Now, once he heard that instantly clicked in his head. Okay, now this motherfucker might be telling the truth. Because my wife also heard these voices. My wife was told to save the kids. My wife was like a chosen one. And the reason why he says chosen one, because he goes to say, you have to be chosen to go to this place. This place exists everywhere. So that will let the audience, which is us, of course, the audience know that Frumville is a place you can't get to, but it'll find you. So this place, this town, is pulling people in for what we don't know just yet. But it's definitely pulling people in from all over the nation. Now, oh boy, Fatima, what's going on with you and your little demon baby? You getting sick? A teeth falling out? What is going on with Fatima, y'all? Could Fatima possibly get turned into a monster? Or is the fetus that she's carrying inside of her will be a monster? Because let's dive into this. So now, before we actually get Fatima to the clinic, her and Ellis are having a conversation at the Colony House, and Ellis says, hey, let's go see Christy. But Fatima is too busy being sick, which is normal. She's pregnant. She's in the bathroom, throwing up, looking pale, and she's throwing up blood. And then all of a sudden, she throws up a tooth. Now, I do understand that when you throw up a lot, those acids from the throw up could actually lead to you losing a tooth, but that's only if you're bulimic. This isn't a sign for the first trimester of pregnant women for them to throw up blood and lose teeth. That's not that. I've never been pregnant, so maybe I could be wrong. Shouts out to Ellis, man. He got a possible demon baby growing inside his wife, and he is not looking comfortable at all in this whole conversation. He looks sweaty, he looks panty, like he's about to have a panic attack during the whole conversation between Fatima, him, and Christy's girlfriend. Now, side note, being that we know that Christy's girlfriend is a pediatric nurse, I know they don't deliver babies, but maybe she was brought into town to solely bring this baby into Frumland. But back to Fatima. Yeah, Fatima isn't doing well at all, because when they actually get back to the Colony House, she sees a bunch of spoiled beets and decides to treat that shit like it's a $5 hot and ready from Little Caesars. Yeah, she can't fight these cravings on for any longer. That baby or that demon child, whatever is growing inside of her, is wanting spoiled shit. Like he or she or it will eat anything spoiled. Beets, apples, bananas. So something inside of Fatima isn't right. Whatever is growing in Fatima, 9 times out of 10 isn't human. Now, while Donna is cutting up the goat to cook, which I think is a very fucking bad idea, here comes Lil Ethan. Lil Ethan, aka my mouth don't give a fuck, because Ethan says things and it just blows my mind. And he goes to say, while Donna is cutting up this goat, he goes to say, is that what Tien Chin looked like? I wanted to grab him by Victor's old jacket and throw him out the window. But hey, he's a kid. He doesn't know any better. Not yet. And here we have, to me, was one of the saddest moments, besides, of course, Mrs. Chin's service, is when Boyd and Kenny are off to find the monsters so they could burn them. And Boyd is all the way. Kenny is like, I'm going to find these things. I'm going to fucking burn them. And Boyd is like, fuck it, let's go. And I respect Boyd for that. And I also definitely have more respect for Kenny for not blaming Boyd for what actually happened to his mom. In my head, I'm not going to lie, I thought Kenny was going to come back blaming everyone, and he actually took it better than what I thought. And basically Boyd lets him know that, hey, your mama didn't die suffering. She died strong. She even told me to take care of you. She spoke this language. And it comes to find out, once Boyd told Kenny what she was saying, Kenny goes to say it means take care of him because he'll be alone now. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Julie sets Jim straight this episode. She's just like, look, Dad, I dealt with y'all grieving over Thomas, and you basically left Ethan alone, and I had to parent Ethan, but this shit is not going to happen this time. I need for you to get your shit together and be a father to us, because our mother is gone. And Jim is just like, okay. So Jim is just like all over the place right now, and she's absolutely right. Like, your children need you. Your children don't need you wandering in the forest finding their mom, which you don't know if she's alive or not, putting yourself and your kids in harm's way. Jim, come on now, Jim. Let's go, Jim. And I'm sorry, y'all. This episode was a lot. So if I'm all over the place with it, feel free to tell me, because this episode was a little too much what I asked for. And I asked for a little bit, and they actually gave me more this time than what I actually asked for. But Julie goes, she's walking around the town and she sees Sarah, and she goes to Sarah, I think this place is starting to get in my head. And she's just basically telling Sarah, hey, I don't want to fucking be like you. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't want to be like Sarah, hearing voices and letting those voices get so deep into their heads that they actually listen to them and actually do as they say. And if you still here watching the video, I just want to give you a shout out. You are fucking amazing. And y'all, let me tell you, we are back at Henry's house. And this basement is filled with gems. Like, I honestly think the way this basement is set up and all of these paintings is like Miranda is leaving a trail. And it was like she was leaving a trail for someone, and that someone had to leave Fromland, because let me tell y'all, it's so many pictures in the basement that is ridiculous. Like, I'm talking about paintings on drawings on drawings. We actually I might have to take a whole nother video to actually deep dive into this basement. And once we deep dive into it, I'm pretty sure we're going to find all sorts of things with these paintings. But these paintings aren't just paintings. I think it's a trail. Like, of course, she was painting what she saw, and she was painting the visions that she had. Well, I'm not sure if she was painting while she was on acid or fucking what. But this basement is going to go down as probably one of the most Easter egg basements we have ever seen in a TV show. Last but certainly not least, we have Thomas trying to reach out to his dad via telephone. Now, here's my little theory about that. If the town doesn't need any energy, like as far as having wires, phone jacks, phone cables, anything dealing with electronics is non-existent in this town. So how is someone, especially Thomas, who we thought was dead, how is it that they can reach out to Jim? And why is it that only Jim is being communicated by electronics? Something is playing with Jim. I'm not sure what it is just yet. But Jim is just all over the place. This is going to fuck Jim all the way up. Like, imagine hearing your supposedly dead child's voice for the first time in months or maybe years, and is in this horrific place. I can just imagine what Jim is going through and thinking right now. Holy shit. And believe me, y'all, I know I missed a lot. And this up and coming video, that my next video will be covering everything. I just didn't know that this episode was going to be this fantastic. But I appreciate y'all for coming through. And like always, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, peace.